Right now, as you're reading these words, your brain is performing approximately 20 million billion calculations per second.
You're not consciously aware of 99% of what your mind is doing.
You're breathing without thinking, your heart is beating, you're filtering out background noise, and somehow, miraculously, these black squiggles on a screen are transforming into meaning in your head. Welcome to Psychology 101, where we're going to peek behind the curtain of the most sophisticated machine in the known universe, your mind. I'm going to make you 3 promises over the next 30 minutes. You'll discover why you do things you didn't even know you were doing. You'll learn to read people like a book, including yourself. You'll never look at human behavior the same way again. Let's start with a simple question that will blow your mind. Segment 1. The Psychology Detective, the Great Mind Mystery. Imagine you're a detective, but instead of solving crimes, you're solving the mystery of why people think, feel, and act the way they do. That's exactly what psychologists are, mind detectives. Interactive challenge number 1. Think of someone you know who always seems happy. Got them in mind? Now, here's the twist. What if I told you that person might actually be struggling more than anyone else you know? This is our first psychology principle. The mask principle. What we see on the surface rarely tells the whole story. The birth of mind science psychology hasn't always existed. Just 150 years ago, if you wanted to understand the mind, you'd visit a philosopher or a priest. Then in 1879, a German professor named Wilhelm Wundt did something revolutionary. He created the first psychology laboratory. Fun fact alert, Wundt's students had to describe their own thoughts while eating an apple. Seriously, they called it introspection, and it was considered cutting-edge science. But here's where it gets interesting. Early psychologists realized something profound. We can't trust our own thoughts about our thoughts. Your brain is constantly lying to you, and it's so good at it that you don't even notice. The iceberg effect, picture an iceberg. The tiny tip above water, that's your conscious mind, what you're aware of right now. The massive chunk below, that's your unconscious mind running the show without your permission. Real-world example. Have you ever driven somewhere and arrived without remembering the journey? Your unconscious mind drove the car while your conscious mind was elsewhere. Scary? Absolutely. Amazing? Even more so. Segment 2. The brain, your inner universe, your 3-pound galaxy. Inside your skull sits 3 pounds of tissue that's more complex than the entire internet. Let's take a tour of your personal universe. The reptilian brain, survival central. This ancient part of your brain has one job: keep you alive. It's why you jump at sudden noises and why you crave sugar and fat. It's been keeping humans alive for millions of years, but it's also why you procrastinate. Your reptilian brain sees new challenges as potential threats. The emotional brain, the drama queen. Ever wonder why you can't think straight when you're angry? Your emotional brain, the limbic system, can hijack your entire system in milliseconds. It's like having a dramatic teenager living in your head who makes decisions based on feelings, not facts. The rational brain, the CEO. Your prefrontal cortex is the newest addition to the human brain. It's your CEO trying to make logical decisions while the reptilian brain screams about danger and the emotional brain throws tantrums. The great brain battle. Interactive moment. Right now, I want you to not think about a pink elephant wearing sunglasses. Don't picture it dancing. Don't imagine it at a beach party. What happened? You thought about it, didn't you? This demonstrates that your conscious mind, the CEO, isn't actually in charge. Your brain processes the concept before your conscious mind can stop it. The marshmallow revolution. In the 1960s, researchers gave 4-year-olds a choice: eat 1 marshmallow now, or wait 15 minutes and get 2 marshmallows. They followed these kids for decades. The children who waited? They had better grades, healthier relationships, and higher incomes 40 years later. This wasn't really about marshmallows. It was about the battle between your emotional brain, wants it now, and your rational brain, thinks about the future. Segment 3. The personality puzzle, cracking the code of you. What makes you, you? Psychologists have been obsessed with this question for over a century, and the answers are fascinating. The Big 5, your personality recipe. Think of personality like a recipe. Everyone has the same 5 ingredients, but in different amounts. 1. Openness, the explorer. High, you love new experiences, art, and deep conversations. Low, you prefer routine, tradition, and practical matters. 2. Conscientiousness, the organizer. High, you're disciplined, goal-oriented, and your desk is probably clean. Low. You're spontaneous, flexible, and your room might look like a tornado hit it. 3. Extroversion, the social battery. High. People energize you. You think out loud. Low. You recharge alone. You think deeply before speaking. 4. Agreeableness, the peacekeeper. High. You avoid conflict and put others first. Low. You're competitive and speak your mind. 5. Neuroticism, the worry meter. High. You feel emotions intensely and worry frequently. Low. You're calm under pressure and emotionally stable. Interactive assessment. Think about your closest friend. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you place them on each trait?
Now here's the psychology twist. You probably rated them based on how they are compared to you, not compared to everyone else.
We use ourselves as the measuring stick for everyone else. The nature versus nurture showdown. The twin studies revolution. Identical twins separated at birth and raised apart are psychology's natural experiment. The results? Mind-blowing. Twins raised in completely different families often have eerily similar personalities, preferences, and even habits.
Shocking example. Jim Lewis and Jim Springer were separated at birth and reunited at age 39.
Both had been named Jim, both married women named Linda, divorced, then married women named Betty. Both drove blue Chevrolets and vacationed at the same beach in Florida. Coincidence? Unlikely. The 50-50 rule. Roughly 50% of your personality comes from your genes, 50% from your experiences. You're not trapped by your genetics, but you're also not a blank slate. Segment 4, memory. Your unreliable narrator, the great memory illusion. Pop quiz. What did you have for lunch exactly 1 week ago today? Can't remember. Don't worry, that's normal. But here's what's not normal. You probably think you have a pretty good memory. Your memory isn't like a video recorder. It's like a Wikipedia page that anyone can edit, including you, and you're doing it constantly without realizing it. The 3 memory systems. Sensory memory, the bouncer. Every second, your senses collect millions of pieces of information. Sensory memory holds this information for about half a second, then tosses 99% of it. It's like having a bouncer at a club who's extremely picky about who gets in. Short-term memory, the waiting room. Information that makes it past the bouncer sits in short-term memory for about 20 seconds. Here's the kicker. You can only hold about 7 pieces of information at once. This is why phone numbers are 7 digits, and why remembering long grocery lists is impossible. Long-term memory, the infinite library. This is where things get weird. Your long-term memory has unlimited capacity, but it's organized like a library run by someone who's never heard of the Dewey Decimal System. Memory crimes and misdemeanors, the false memory epidemic. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus conducted a disturbing experiment. She convinced people they were lost in a mall as children, even though it never happened. Within weeks, participants had detailed emotional memories of this fictional event. Real-world impact. Eyewitness testimony, once considered the gold standard of evidence, is now known to be shockingly unreliable. Your memory is constantly being rewritten based on new information, emotions, and suggestions. Interactive challenge number 2. Remember that happy person from the beginning? Try to recall exactly what you were thinking about them. Notice how your memory of your earlier thoughts might be influenced by everything you've learned since then. That's your memory being edited in real time. The Mandela effect. Do you remember the Berenstain Bears? Many people swear it was the Berenstain Bears. This shared false memory phenomenon shows that even collective memory can be wrong. Your brain is constantly filling in gaps with reasonable information, whether it's accurate or not. Segment 5. The social psychology theatre. 8 minutes. Humans, the ultimate social experiment. Take the most intelligent person you know and put them in a group of people saying the sky is green. Within hours, there's a good chance they'll start questioning what they know about the colour of the sky. Welcome to social psychology, where logic goes to die. The conformity conspiracy. Solomon Asch's line experiment. In the 1950s, Asch showed people a simple task: match the length of lines. Easy, right? But when surrounded by actors who gave obviously wrong answers, 75% of participants gave the wrong answer at least once, even when they could clearly see the correct answer. Modern translation. This is why you might suddenly like a song everyone else likes, even though you hated it the first time you heard it. Your brain would rather be wrong with the group than right by itself. The authority trap. The Milgram shock experiments. Stanley Milgram wanted to understand how ordinary people could commit terrible acts. He had participants shock actors who were actually safe when they got questions wrong. A man in a lab coat, an authority figure, kept saying, "Please continue." The terrifying result: 65% of participants delivered what they believed were dangerous shocks to innocent people simply because an authority figure told them to. Daily life application. This is why you might buy something you don't need because a salesperson in a nice suit recommended it, or why you might agree with a boss's bad idea even when you know it's wrong. The bystander effect, the 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 phenomenon. In 1964, 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 was attacked in Queens, New York. Reports claimed 38 people witnessed the attack but didn't help. While the details were later disputed, research confirmed a chilling principle. The more people who witness an emergency, the less likely any individual is to help. The psychology: your brain assumes someone else will take action. Everyone thinks the same thing. Result? Nobody acts. Life hack. If you ever need help in a crowd, point to a specific person and say, "You in the red shirt, please call 911. Suddenly they can't diffuse responsibility. The halo effect. The beautiful truth. Attractive people are assumed to be more intelligent, kind, and competent, even when there's no evidence for this. This halo effect influences everything from job interviews to court sentences. Interactive realization. Think about your favorite celebrities. Now consider, do you actually know anything about their character, or do you just know their public image? The halo effect is constantly shaping your judgments without your awareness. Segment 6. Emotions. Your internal weather system, the emotional roller coaster. Emotions aren't random. They're sophisticated information systems that evolved over millions of years. Every emotion is trying to tell you something important, even the ones you wish you didn't have. The 6 universal emotions. Paul Ekman discovered that 6 emotions are expressed the same way across all human cultures. 1. Happiness. Your reward system saying, "More of this, please." 2. Sadness. Your system saying, "Something important has been lost." 3. Anger. Your system saying, "A boundary has been crossed." Fear. Your alarm system saying, "Potential danger detected." 5. Surprise. Your system saying, "Update your expectations now." 6. Disgust. Your system saying, "This could contaminate or harm you." The emotion myths. Myth number 1. Emotions are irrational. Reality. Emotions are incredibly rational. They're just optimized for survival, not modern life. Your anxiety about public speaking uses the same system that kept your ancestors alive when facing predators. Myth number 2. You should control your emotions. Reality. You can't control emotions, but you can influence them. Trying to suppress emotions is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It takes enormous energy and eventually explodes. Myth number 3. Some emotions are bad. Reality. All emotions serve a purpose. Even depression can signal that something important in your life needs attention. The emotional contagion. Interactive demonstration. Think about the last time you were around someone who was really excited about something. Did you feel yourself getting a bit excited too? That's emotional contagion. Emotions are literally contagious. Mirror neurons. Your brain has special cells that fire both when you perform an action and when you watch someone else perform the same action. You're constantly mimicking the emotions of people around you without realizing it. Life application. This is why toxic people drain your energy and why being around positive people lifts your mood. Choose your emotional environment carefully. You're absorbing it whether you want to or not. The Mood Regulation Toolkit, the 90-second rule. Neuroscientist 𝐬𝐮𝐫𝐞 Taylor discovered that emotions naturally last about 90 seconds. Anything longer than that, you're actively choosing to refuel the emotion with your thoughts. The labeling effect. Simply naming your emotions reduces their intensity. Your brain literally calms down when you say, "I'm feeling anxious," instead of just experiencing the physical sensations. Segment 7. Learning. Your brain's upgrade system. The learning revolution. Your brain is the only machine that gets better the more you use it. Every time you learn something new, you're literally rewiring your neural networks. You're not the same person you were when this course started. Your brain has already changed. The 4 learning superpowers. 1. Classical conditioning. The association machine. Ivan Pavlov rang a bell before feeding dogs, and eventually, the bell alone made them salivate. Your brain is constantly creating these associations. That song that makes you think of your ex? Classical conditioning. The way you feel calm when you smell your grandmother's perfume? Same principle. 2. Operant conditioning, the consequence calculator. Your brain is always asking, what happens when I do this? Behaviors followed by good outcomes get repeated. Behaviors followed by bad outcomes get avoided. This is why social media is so addictive. Variable reward schedules are the most powerful motivators known to psychology. 3. Observational learning, the copycat system. You learn more from watching others than from direct experience. Children learn language not through formal instruction, but by observing and mimicking. Adults do this too. You probably picked up your sense of humor from people you admired. 4. Insight learning, the aha moment. Sometimes your brain suddenly reorganizes information into new patterns. This is why solutions to problems often come when you're in the shower or taking a walk. Your brain is making connections in the background. The growth mindset. Revolution, Carol Dweck's discovery. Students who believe intelligence can be developed, growth mindset, dramatically outperform those who believe intelligence is fixed mindset. The difference? How they interpret challenges. Fixed mindset. I failed because I'm not smart enough. Growth mindset. I failed because I haven't learned this yet. Interactive challenge number 3. Think of something you believe you're just not good at. Now add the word yet to the end. Notice how that small change affects how you feel about the possibility of improvement. The spacing effect, the forgetting curve. Hermann Ebbinghaus discovered that we forget 50% of new information within an hour, 70% within 24 hours. But here's the hack. If you review information just as you're about to forget it, you remember it longer each time. Practical application. Instead of cramming for 5 hours straight, study for 1 hour. Then review for 15 minutes the next day. Then 10 minutes a week later. This spaced repetition creates stronger, more permanent memories with less total time invested. Segment 8. Putting it all together. The Psychology Toolkit, your psychological superpower summary. Congratulations. You now possess knowledge that took humanity thousands of years to discover. Let's consolidate your new superpowers. The 5 core insights. 1. The awareness advantage. You now know that your conscious mind is just the tip of the iceberg. Most of your behavior is driven by unconscious processes. This awareness alone makes you more free. You can't change what you can't see. 2. The brain truth. You have 3 brains in constant negotiation. Reptilian, survival, emotional, feelings, and rational, logic. Understanding this internal committee helps you make better decisions and be more patient with yourself and others. 3. The social reality. You're constantly influenced by social forces you don't notice. Authority figures, group pressure, and social norms shape your thoughts and behaviors more than you'd like to admit. Awareness is your defense. 4. The memory malleability. Your memories are not reliable recordings. They're reconstructions influenced by your current state, beliefs, and experiences. This makes you more humble about your past and more intentional about creating meaningful experiences. 5. The emotion intelligence. Emotions are information systems, not character flaws. They're trying to help you even when they're uncomfortable. Learning to listen to them without being controlled by them is a superpower. Your daily psychology applications for better relationships. Remember that everyone is fighting battles you can't see, the mask principle. Practice emotional labeling to reduce conflict intensity. Use the spacing effect to build stronger connections over time. For personal growth, adopt a growth mindset. Add yet to your limitations. Understand your personality traits to work with your nature, not against it. Create environments that support the behaviors you want for decision-making. Recognize when your reptilian or emotional brain is hijacking your decisions. Use the 90-second rule to let intense emotions pass before acting. Remember that your memory of past decisions is probably biased. The continuous journey. Psychology isn't just an academic subject. It's the user manual for being human. Every interaction you have, every decision you make, every emotion you feel is psychology in action. The meta-learning effect. Now that you understand how learning works, you can learn everything else more effectively. You've gained the ability to upgrade your own upgrade system. Closing. The beginning of your psychological journey, the transformation promise. Remember those 3 promises I made at the beginning? Promise number 1. You discover why you do things you didn't know you were doing. Check. You now understand unconscious processes, social influences, and emotional systems.
Promise number 2, you'd learn to read people like a book check.
You understand personality traits, emotional expressions, and social psychology principles.
Promise number 3, you'd never look at human behavior the same way again. Check.
You now have a psychological lens through which to view every human interaction.
The observer effect. Here's your final psychological principle, the observer effect.
In physics, observing something changes it.
The same is true in psychology. Simply knowing these principles will change how you think and behave.
You might notice yourself catching your emotions at the 90-second mark. You might recognize when someone is using authority or social proof to influence you. You might be more curious about what's driving someone's behavior instead of just judging it. Your next steps: immediate application. For the next week, practice one principle daily. Monday, notice your 3 brains in action. Tuesday, practice emotional labeling. Wednesday, observe social influences on your decisions. Thursday, question one of your memories. Friday, use the growth mindset in a challenging situation. Weekend, apply the spacing effect to something you're learning. The psychological mindset. You're now equipped to be a detective of human behavior, starting with your own. The most fascinating psychology experiment you'll ever participate in is your own life. Final thought. Every person you meet is a walking psychology textbook. Every emotion you feel is data. Every decision you make is an experiment. You're not just studying psychology, you're living it. Welcome to your new relationship with your mind. The journey from here gets even more interesting. The person sitting next to you right now, they have all these same systems running in their head. Their reptilian brain, their memory reconstruction, their personality traits, their emotional contagion, all of it. We're all magnificent, complex, beautifully flawed psychological beings trying to figure it out as we go. And now you have the tools to do it more skillfully than 99% of humans who have ever lived. Use them wisely. Show your support by liking, sharing, or simply subscribe for more psychology fun and information.